Welcome back to another episode of A2, the show. Today we have George Jarjour, guys. George Jarjour is a sports media content creator, businessman. He's also a podcaster with his brother where they talk about sports, media, and business. It's called On the
The
Tap,
sports on tap. Yep.
Sports on Tap. My bad.
No worries.
George, welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here.
Hey, it's great to talk to you guys and nice to meet you.
And George, we're just gonna get right into it in today's headlines. Infantino might lose his job. What the hell? What is going on, man? After one of
Well,
the biggest World Cups.
there's so many different angles you can take with this. I've read some reports that I wouldn't call it jealous, but he saw in the United States what the commissioners get in the American sports league. So, for example, I think Infantino makes about 8 to 10 million, I think, from the World Cup, maybe even a little bit less than that. While someone like Roger Goodell, who's a commissioner of the NFL, the National Football League, makes about $55 million a year.
Wow.
Adam Silver of the NBA makes about 35 million a year. The baseball commissioner makes about 30 million a year. And well, when you see that, what do you
Yeah.
think? Why are we a nonprofit again? Let's see if we can turn FIFA into a business. And I think a lot of that now, is that necessarily true? Who knows? But I mean, it makes a lot of sense because there was never talk of this whole entire turning FIFA into an enterprise until he saw what United States sports actually produces in the monetarily level.
Right. And maybe there's a potential influence from hanging out with Trump and his
Do you think?
cohort as well. So, Polymarket is saying that he has like a 33% chance of losing his job on December the 31st, and Wales has already removed their support for him for his re-election.
Yep.
So, in your opinion, it's a done deal, basically, for him.
I don't know if I would say necessarily it's a done deal, but it's going to need a very, very, very good PR campaign to change up the public perception of him. I mean, at the end of the day, these countries that are, part of FIFA and UEFA and the Asian Football Conference or the South American Football Conference, they also have a public perception. And if the public perception of Infantino is going to be that bad, I don't think in good judgment of a business they can go back and reelect him, especially with this World Cup, with how many allegations we heard of fraud, fixed match fraud. At some point, you can't back the guy. And it doesn't matter unless he changes his perception. But this morning, it was last night, I guess, right before I went to sleep. It said several football associations have now thrown their support behind him, with Qatar and UAE leading the way. So, and Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Kuwait, and Lebanon have also backed him, but Saudi Arabia has yet to make a decision.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Interesting choice from these
It's
countries.
it sounds like you scratch my back, I scratch yours type situation. Like I've done favors for you.
Well, I mean, Saudi Arabia, why haven't they made a decision yet? Who's hosting the 2034 World Cup? And
They're holding on to their bid. I understand why Lebanon's doing it, because he's Lebanese now. So
yep.
obviously that's why they're backing him. No other reasons. No other reasons whatsoever.
Is it his mom's Lebanese, right?
It's his
His
wife.
wife.
And,
Oh, his wife's Lebanese.
and now yeah, his wife's Lebanese and he's also Lebanese now. He has the nationality. He
Oh, they gave him the
somehow
national.
got
Oh,
it.
yeah, no, you have to support him.
Where do you think he learned how to avoid fraud, bro? Like that's the main concept. No, but we're just joking. We're just joking. Um, so what do you see in the future then for UEFA and FIFA when the next World Cup? I mean, the next one is going to be in Spain, Portugal, Morocco, and
Yep.
also three countries in South America. So what does it look like going forward for them with Infantino potentially going out?
Well, let's just say it all happens and he goes out. I don't know who's there. I mean, I think I heard there was a guy from Qatar who is like people are saying could be the next president of FIFA. I haven't really looked at the full entire list of people who could become that. But at the same time, you look at that and say, okay, who was before Infantino? It was Sepp Blatter. And then he got in trouble for fraud and wiring money. And so at some point, you're going to have to look at this organization as a full package here and say, is it always the guy in charge is the problem, or is the whole organizational structure really, really messed up? And I think it goes beyond just Infantino, Blatter. I mean, when this type of money's involved in a nonprofit organization with countries, side deals, and so many different nations, and it's not like here in the United States, right? If the NFL was to have a huge controversy, I mean, the United States government, the FBI is going to go in there and it's going to investigate it and it's going to figure it out. But FIFA is a worldwide organization, so the checks and balances are just not there. And I don't know how you could ever fix that to make it to a point where there's actual consequences for the actions taken by the leadership of FIFA.
That's a
That's
fair
so
point.
true. There's no group that would be able to hold these countries accountable for anything like that. Because like you said,
Yeah.
in the US it's more national. So the FBI just has that authority.
Exactly.
But if you do it for FIFA, then it kind of becomes like a pseudo UN faction for
Yeah, that's a great point. Can the UN get involved with something like this? Can we have how about us three will start a committee? They can, I mean, if they're listening, send it to them. We will start the committee in the UN for sports. They put us on the panel, three of us, only need two judges to say yes, and we can vote whatever we need and we get things done. We will have zero corruption. It's only a couple Lebanese and a Syrian guy. There's zero corruptions here.
I mean,
The
exactly.
sports
We would be the
council.
best at catching those people because we know what to look
Yeah.
for, right?
And we never take a bribe.
No, no, no. Never.
So we'd be perfect. But no, there should be. I mean, sports has become such a big business all over the world. We're not talking about, hundreds of millions. We're talking multi-billion dollar entities, right? And there is no checks or balances for these things. And there should be, because it's huge money. There's checks and balances for so many, for businesses, for the stock market, for, there's Interpol. If you do commit a crime in Dubai,
Oh, wow.
you go to, I don't know, Afghanistan, they're going to catch you at some point. And in sports, it's just kind of this whole entire charade of we really have no idea what's going on. And that's like, for example, in the United States, boxing, right? Boxing doesn't have a commissionership. And that's why that sport went from the number one most popular sport in the United States to now, I don't know, the seventh most popular. UFC has passed it. Basketball, baseball, football, hockey, soccer, NASCAR. Wow. Like at some point you need a governing body to take care of these type of things for it to actually run smooth. And I mean, I don't think this World Cup was fixed. Some people do. But you want to if those allegations continue, people are going to watch it less at some point, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good idea for sports to be fixed? For there to be like a script behind the story? Does it make it more entertaining for the fans?
Well, for entertainment purposes, yes. But let's just say sports were fixed. And you know how sad that would be, though, in general. And I think eventually, if it was fixed, people would watch a lot less. I don't know. Do you guys watch WWE at all, wrestling?
No.
When I was a kid, yeah,
Yeah,
not
when I was a
anymore.
kid.
But exactly. Why? Because, it's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think sports, what's beautiful about sports is there's nothing else left on this maybe whole planet other than like news, which we don't want to watch the news. Usually when the news is on, it's bad. But it's the only thing you really have no idea what's actually going to happen. And movies are pre-recorded, TV shows are pre-recorded, reality TV shows are fixed.
Fake.
So sports is the only thing we have left that's pure. And I think that's why, a lot of times people get so emotional about if their team loses, they have to yell it's fixed because there's you pour so much emotion into your favorite teams, whether that's soccer, basketball, baseball, football. It is a beautiful thing. But it's the only thing left in the world where we really don't know the outcome, and no one knows the outcome, even the players on the field, until it's over.
No, that's actually a very fair point. There's a lot of like raw emotion that's there, and I guess that's why, for example, football is one of the biggest sports in the world because
Mhm.
you don't know what's going to happen. You know, it's very, very unpredictable, and it's a sport that connects everyone around the world. There's a lot of unity there. Everyone
Yeah.
has their team. It's it's a game that's played everywhere, and it's something to be protected. Like, and you mentioned earlier about how Interpol, like, they investigate individuals and they bring them
Mhm.
back, they bring them to justice from whichever country they're hiding in. Maybe that can be part of the committee. Maybe they work with Interpol together to hold these individuals accountable. Maybe that's what the committee is
Yeah,
like, the
consist
work
of so.
process goes through.
Yeah, no, because there needs to be something, right? Like there has to be a way to actually take care of these big problems. We don't know how much. I mean, we go back to Qatar's World Cup. People say they paid them off. I mean, how many World Cups in a row are we going to go and sit here and keep saying, "Oh, this one, well, Qatar paid for it. Oh, Trump is involved. Oh, next this." Every single one, there's a problem, and I think if in a lot of them, I don't think is true. I think it's a lot of conspiracy theories. But if we were able to actually investigate it thoroughly, it'd do a lot for public perception.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
True.
you do want like your your government to be involved to a certain degree. Obviously, not bribery or paying off, but
Yeah.
like having this connection to the actual sport and being directly involved in it, especially when you're hosting, I think
Mhm.
that's something that kind of reassures the fans as well, or to a certain degree, that the actual event is being taken care of. And
That's actually an interesting point. Elaborate on that a little bit. I like that point. Like, so are you saying, let's say when 2034, Saudi Arabia is taking care of the World Cup, their government's involved in policing it?
oh, policing it.
Not policing it as in like a police
Potentially,
state, but like making sure there's no corruption.
I mean, yeah, because then at least if there's a mistake, then you can blame someone that how did that mistake go through?
Mm.
Because, for example,
Mhm.
the FBI was investigating the Argentina
Argentina, yeah.
Association for fraud as well. But that's because the U.S. taxes any organization that receives money on U.S. soil.
Yep.
So I'm assuming it had involved that. So yeah, I mean, if the event is being held in your country, you have to be the one policing it. That it makes sense. You, if
Hmm.
the crime is being done in your state, in your country, on your soil, you should be responsible to take care of that by law. And I think that's
That's
something that FIFA should possibly pursue.
I actually kind of like that. Imagine if something did go wrong, all of a sudden you have a war between two countries over that game Ghana versus Cape Verde was really we found something. All right, war occurs, but you know why? But you know what? Even another idea I just thought of now is why don't we just have like you have the FBI? Why don't you have like the I don't know the sports BI, the Sports Bureau investigation worldwide. Like they're like just have something because it. I mean, we're talking. Wall Street is trillions of dollars, but sports are hundreds of billions of dollars. We
Right.
have a
Right.
SEC. We do investigate stock market. Maybe not good. We don't do a good job of investigating it, but at least we try.
It's true. That's
What
true.
do they do for the Olympics? How does the Olympics stay fair?
I believe there's the IOC for I think the Olympics actually has a committee,
Mm.
Olympic committee for. There's a doping committee. I think it's the IOC.
Okay. So they do have a committee. There it has been done before.
Yeah, but that's more for doping for steroids, human growth
Mm.
hormones, like actual cheating of the athlete side.
I see.
The IOC also investigates corruption, actually. It
Oh,
is,
they do. Okay.
yeah. The IOC corruption, December 1998, allegations widespread corruption within. Oh, wow. There's corruption within the IOC. Never mind. What's going on?
I like that. When the corruption committee commits the corruption, you know, it goes to show though, in life in general, there's
Oh,
always going to be bad actors.
Mhm.
true.
There
100%.
always will be. What do you guys think though? Do you think Infantino keeps his job or deserves
See,
to keep his
what
job?
I remember during the World Cup, every time Infantino would come on like the TV, everyone would boo him.
I
Like no matter where I was, just like it was just a funny thing that everyone would just start booing Infantino. Now I can't tell if that's just like people being silly or if that's people actually hating him for who he is. I don't know. I mean, so what about the like making FIFA private instead of a non-profit? Why is there an issue with that?
Well, there's multiple issues here. First of all, let's let's get to Infantino for a second first about the hatred thing. I think a lot of it goes to just in general in life when you're told to hate something. When the media tells you to hate something, you just kind of just follow. I mean, there are so many people just kind of like, oh, I hate Infantino. Why? Oh, yeah, he loves Messi. Like, what? All right. Well, like media told you to hate him, so now you hate him. Now you boo him. You don't know why you're booing, and it's like your third cousin who doesn't even watch sports is like telling you how corrupt FIFA is, and she's never watched a game in her life, and you're just like, okay, I don't know where I am now, but. But I think the problem here with the whole turning it into a business and selling shares of it is twofold. One, who's Infantino to decide this? I mean, FIFA's been around for over 100 years, I think now, and it was never for sale. It's a nonprofit organization, and Trump came in, and I mean, Kushner, Trump's son-in-law's brother, is the one involved in and is going to help the sale and get 10% of it. Like at the end of the
Wow.
day, now we're talking like major corruption, political leaders coming in, and now it's a business, right? And sometimes what was nice about FIFA, and I don't know if they did a great job of this, but when it's a nonprofit organization, you are not performing for your shareholders. You're performing for the organization to put on the best spectacle in the world, whether that's the World Cup or any other events they put on, the FIFA Club World Cup. You are performing not for the sake of just profit and loss margins. You're performing for the sake of a sport that is the biggest sport in the whole entire world. And, the World Cup gets billions and billions of viewers. So as soon as you turn that into a business, now you got shareholders to talk to. You got your whole entire basis of running FIFA changes from we're trying to put on the best sporting event in the world to we're running a business trying to make the most profit possible.
Give us an example of
Yeah.
how can that go wrong though? I mean, don't
Mhm.
the shareholders also want to see FIFA do well?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But let's see. That's a good question. An example of how it could go wrong. I haven't really thought of this that in that way. But let's just say, okay, every World Cup from here on out, where would a World Cup make the most money? Probably the United States each
That,
and
Yeah.
every single time, like
yeah.
no matter
Mm-hmm.
what happens. So then
Mm,
why would you ever change it out of the United States if you're running a business and you're trying to make it the
right.
most profitable business in
Or
the world?
making
So,
it every 2 years or
and
something, or
or
every
making it
1 year.
every 2 year. Oh, you should make it every year. Why not make it every year? Now like so now you're not looking at this as a now you're looking at it as a league almost. You're looking at it as a business entity. So what's best for the business? It'd be for it to be every 2 years in the United States in the summer when there's no NFL in the United States, and it should only be sold to probably one platform. Let's do YouTube or Google, and that's the only place you can actually put it. And it's going to be $100 for the month for every single user in the world to watch it. And now we're going to gatekeep it, and now we're just going to make as much profit as possible. So my share of FIFA is now worth so much money that I can sell it 10x in a few years.
Wow, that sounds
Hmm.
bad. Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
Yeah.
I see the
Yeah.
picture
yeah.
you're painting. Um, so why is it that like soccer is not big in the U.S.? Why is it that it hasn't grown as much as it
I,
has all over the world?
I know, isn't it amazing? Like, it's such a great sport, and I mean, I love soccer. It's probably my second favorite or third favorite. I mean, I love the NFL. That's like our bread and butter in our business. But I love soccer. I watch the English Premier League every single weekend. I watch La Liga. I mean, I've always been into it. I think the problem with the United States audience is the point system, to be honest with you. In a
Mm.
weird way, I always like joke like when the score is 3-2 in a soccer game, I say it's 21-14. They scored 3 touchdowns, they scored 2 touchdowns. I mean we give 7 points for a touchdown, 3 points for a field goal. Like, like yeah, we make our points sound so much bigger than they really should be. So if you told the American fan like did you watch the game last night? Did you watch the NFL game yet? Oh man, it was amazing. It was 21-7. My favorite team won, which would be 3 goals to 1 goal. They're like, oh wow, that was it a good game? Yeah, it was great. I mean, to watch a soccer game, how was I was so dumb. Why? I was 3-1. They barely scored any goals. Like, so I think there's like a mentality thing here. And
Mhm.
let's be honest, and I'm an American citizen. They like to be the best. If we were the best country in the world at soccer, they'd love soccer.
Okay, but isn't the theory that money drives
Mhm.
sports, right? Like if you have a lot of money, like the Dodgers, you can just buy the best players and have the best teams and be the biggest winners. So why can't
Absolutely.
we just do that with soccer and be the number one?
You know, here's my thoughts on that, and you guys probably know even better. You guys both, Ali, did you grow up in the Middle East as well?
Yes, yes, in
Yeah,
Lebanon, means I
yeah.
the same school.
We went to the same school.
Mhm.
So I think so I grew up here in the United States, but I talked to my dad a lot about this. And in general, what did I do at recess or when I'm out with friends? You pick up a basketball, you shoot a basketball hoop. There's a basketball hoop at every single park. Everyone plays basketball or throws a football around or throws a baseball around. I think in the like Middle East, I'm sure what you guys did as kids was kick a soccer ball around. And
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
Yeah.
think I went to Spain a few years ago, and I noticed I'm at dinner, and like every park is just hundreds of kids playing soccer. And you'd be sitting the people with kids. The kids have a soccer ball. It is like you have a soccer ball. That's what you do. And I think it'll take a whole nother generation of American citizens to do that. I don't think it's something money can buy. You can't buy
Mm.
the creativity, the passion, the love for the game because it's a beautiful game. And I think Americans just don't know yet how to put that beauty and give it to a kid and let generations like produce that.
But have you heard the term, what's it called? Sorry, or the statement, proximity leads to success or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like in the schools that you guys don't have the football courts, you don't have the facilities for to play soccer. That's the thing. Here, like for us in the Middle East, we have those facilities. For example, we don't have the facilities to play American football, or
Right.
you guys call it football. So that's why maybe we're not as interested in that sport. And the same for you guys when it comes to soccer. So I think that's most probably the main issue. So maybe that's what money can fix. You invest in the facilities for it, just so
But
that people can have that accessible.
I think we have the facilities though, because I mean, Ali, you can probably attest to this too. Every single football field is a soccer field. They're all basically the same exact size, except we
Yeah.
use it
Yeah.
for the other sport
Yeah,
now,
throwing.
like for throwing the football and kicking it through the field goal. But at the
uh,
end, if you go see, like when I went to high school, like our soccer field was also our football field, and then football seasons in September through December, and then soccer season is February through April-ish, and the cool kids all played American football, and the not cool kids played soccer back then. And now I think that's changing a little bit,
mm,
but that's just how it was installed. Like Americans, and I love Americans. I have a lot of American friends. So I feel like I'm bashing them, and I don't mean to, but like their whole theory on soccer, oh, it's boring. Oh, it's stupid. Oh, they flop. I'm like, LeBron James flops every single time anyone touches him.
Oh.
They call them wussies. There's something there that you just. I think it's because they can't really, when they see these European soccer players or Brazilian soccer players or Italian, or Italy sucks now, but they can't really relate to them. But they can relate to everyone else in American sports. They can relate to Tom Brady. He's an American white guy. You can relate to Michael Jordan, the African American community, and can relate to him. LeBron James, they can look up to him. Um, I just don't think, unless we have a star one day, like if Christian Pulisic was actually a star, you need someone like that. You need if Messi was in the United States and Messi was Messi in America, yeah, Americans would love soccer. But we haven't had our Pele, our Messi, our man that we can get behind so much. Like they don't want to get behind an Argentinian man or a Portuguese man or an English man. They want to get behind an American star, Captain America.
So you need your American hero basically
We
to
do,
save the
yeah.
sport,
I think we
carry
do to
everything.
save the sport, yeah. But where do we find them?
That's a good question.
It's
Where
interesting
would
you
you
say
find them? Where
that.
would you look?
Because
Is it?
Otani, he's Japanese, right? And he's the
Yeah,
biggest thing in baseball right now.
true. But we've had American stars in baseball before. We've already dominated that sport. And Otani's amazing. I mean, you're lucky you're in California. You can
Oh
just get
yeah.
in the car any day of a week and go watch him play. I live right down there is the stadium where I'm pointing to. I can see it. I can walk to it
Mhm.
right now where the Diamondbacks play the baseball team. And Otani's coming in town this week. The cheapest ticket for Friday night's like $95 for the worst seat. If I want a good seat, I have to pay $400 to go watch him play. And it's
Wow.
like, God, I want to go watch Otani. So hopefully I can just like wait until the game starts and then see if the tickets try to watch. But yeah, like he's amazing. So we've already dominated baseball. I just think we
Mhm.
need one guy to dominate soccer. And I don't think we have that yet.
Okay.
True.
How about pause women's soccer? Come on.
Women's soccer in America is great, and they do a really good job here. And I think it's still now the number one most participated sports for women in the United States. So that part is like we've done it well, we dominated it. But I think just in general, women's sports, unfortunately, doesn't get the eyes on the TV as much as men's sports does. Why is that the case? There's probably so many different reasons why men watch sports more than women, and they don't want to watch women play. Like we can get into all of that, but that is a very complicated and touchy issue.
I think the main
So
question is it as entertaining as men's sports? Because that's what gets eyes onto the actual
right.
sports, right?
And I mean, and I don't mean this in any derogatory way towards women. No, it's not as entertaining only because men are more athletic, just bigger, faster, stronger. Just genetically, we were born bigger, faster, and stronger than women. So when you're watching a
Right.
sport, you want to watch the biggest, fastest, strongest people compete. And
Hmm.
unfortunately for women's sports, they can't provide that. Now, tennis, on the other hand, is the one sport I believe that watching women tennis at times is superior to watching men's tennis. And that's because men's tennis, they're so good, so fast, so strong. Sometimes you can't have a rally, you can't return a serve. You see a lot of aces, first boom, done. While women's tennis gives you that back and forth that men's tennis might not get. So it might be a better and more entertaining product on TV.
Wow.
Interesting. All right. It's so men's tennis is just too dominant that it
They're
gets
so
boring.
good. Yeah, they're
Like
so good.
it's like it's like watching one guy destroy everyone, and you
Mhm.
don't like that. That's obviously not an entertaining show. And it's like,
Exactly.
let's say Real Madrid is playing against a tier two team, or like from the second league of La Liga.
Yeah,
Like
they
that's the only
dominated.
comparison that comes to
Yeah. You guys, is that your team since you use them as an example?
mind. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And how about you,
Madrid and
Ali?
United.
Ah, wow. Let's do Manchester United. Let's go for
Okay.
it. They'll have a comeback one day.
Somehow I became a Tottenham Hotspur supporter. I
Hell
know.
yeah.
Oh, why?
I
Why are you doing that to yourself?
I don't know. I like torture. So when I first started watching soccer, I really liked Harry Kane. I was like 2014 and 15. I was like, oh, okay, I'll start watching. So I was like, oh, what team does he play on? Started watching him. And then we went to the Champions League final. I was like, man, I chose a pretty good team. No, I
They
didn't.
did. Yeah, they had a very good run that year. Although that
Yeah.
that final was like not the most entertaining to watch,
No, no,
but
no.
the semi-final they played, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
against
Their comeback in
Ajax.
the end. Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
was a great game to watch.
But yeah, so that's how it happened. And then I went to London, went to their stadium. I enjoy it, but it's just like any American team. So I'm a Seattle Mariners fan
Woo.
because I grew up in Seattle. So they're definitely like the Tottenham of baseball. They don't win anything. They torture you day in and day out. So I think I like pain.
But United is actually going through a decent build-up now. Like
Oh yeah,
they have a big chance next year to actually potentially win it, because a lot of people are saying like, so the Spurs, like we were saying, don't win much. Sorry.
it's okay.
Um,
I'm used to it.
Liverpool Liverpool is going through some weird situation at the moment. You know, Mo
Mhm.
Salah probably leaving. They lost their current manager. A lot of players are not in form. Chelsea has been very off the past 2 years. Um, City just lost Pep Guardiola,
Yep.
and the squad is looking really different compared to last year and the previous years. And and also Arsenal never wins two in a row. So
Yeah, that's true.
United has
And
a
they
big chance of
also
actually winning the league.
I could see Man United winning the league next year. I mean, I
Hell
think
yeah.
they played really good at the end of the year too.
Yeah, with Michael Carrick behind the helm, I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Those tactics, they're looking good.
I
He's
know.
bringing back old United vibes back, and the new signings are like, they're giving you hope.
Anything but Arsenal, man. Arteta plays the most boring football I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
What
Oh
is
man,
what
I'm
is
so
the
glad they
difference
didn't win the
between
Champions League, because
Oh,
then
I know.
Arsenal fans would not have shut up. Sorry, Ali, I
I
didn't mean
know.
to cut you off.
boring football, boring sports versus exciting sports? Like how like a sport like baseball, for example,
Mhm.
used to be a lot slower, but now they kind of revived it by changing the
Right.
rules. So I don't know what makes a sport more entertaining for you.
Hmm. That's a very nice question, actually. I would say it's twofold. One, scoring. I mean, the more scoring, I think it gets a little more exciting. And then the second thing is kind of just the daring to do something.
Mm.
Like it's okay to lose sometimes, but is this team trying? Are they going for it? Are they passionate on the field? I mean, sometimes like a team is 2 years away from really winning anything in American sports, but you can tell that they go for it. They play hard. They're trying to score. They're taking risks. I think risk taking is exciting. How about for you guys?
For me, it's gotta be, you know, there has to be emotion in it. Like it has to be
Mm.
fast and
The
dynamic.
story.
Yeah, it's like there's there's obviously the backstory to the actual build up to the event. For example, um, in the final for the World Cup, everyone was just hating on Argentina for so after
Mhm.
all of these controversial, like their controversial re arrival to the final, and
Yeah.
Spain was just, you know, quietly beating big teams and like doing the great game, playing the right football. And then when it came to the final, it felt like it was more of a massacre than anything.
Mhm.
Spain was not letting Argentina touch the ball, and Argentina was doing their controversial fighting skill, kung fu style football, Shaolin soccer, some kind of shit like that. But Spain just were able to hold it, and I think them want like deserving it, them earning it. was like, even though the game wasn't the most entertaining game, I think them deserving that win kind of like added to that story.
I like
So yeah, the
The
narrative,
story, the story is
the
part of
story.
it too, and like I don't know, there's something about being entertaining and the celebrity factor that does play a factor into it. Like for example, Holland and Bazinha, like all those guys that became megastars, you know, it makes you buy into him more, even more than the way they play, in my opinion. I don't know. Do you think like if you're an athlete, should you focus more on your brand or on your
that.
athleticism?
That's a great. So, I mean, you can't really. You have to. Your brand becomes your brand. I think after you focus on your athleticism, like I think a lot of these guys focused on the brand maybe too quick. Let's say Neymar, for example, who could have been an all-time great talent. But then I think he got too focused on his brand, and then he became just his brand more than an athlete, and the skills didn't really translate over to the field as much as they should have. In American sports, you have Tom Brady, who was not really a brand until way later in his career when he became the greatest of all time, and now that brand is still following through him in his post career. So I think when you're really good, you have to have a brand, right? I mean, you're a business, and it's you have a livelihood. You're a human being at the end of the day. But I think, you have to have a good balance between both. And I think if your brand is can't if your athletic achievements can't keep up with the brand that you're trying to build, if it gets too big, you're only going to see yourself fall pretty hard at that.
Mm.
Hmm. And I mean, it's an interesting point that you mentioned about Neymar. Like, was it actually just him being heavily influenced by his brand, or was it like, because there's people who would say it's the injuries, it's the people saying maybe the system didn't fit him well, and is it necessarily the brand that stops these major talents from reaching like their actual potential, or maybe that's actually their potential? Maybe we overhyped them a bit, and we gave them too much recognition to their brand, because like what's stopping them from actually reaching that potential?
Right. So you guys probably know more about Neymar than I do, right? I mean, what do you guys think about him? I mean, I'll use it someone different example, but Neymar specifically, what was his? I mean, we can't say downfall. It's not like he's gone forever, but like what's his reasoning for not becoming that long sustained career when you see people like Messi and Ronaldo having sustaining super long careers?
I think he left Barcelona too early. That's my thinking. I think he should have stayed in a system that was working for him and not left for the money. And that's something like for example, when you like something when you compared Neymar to Tom Brady, I think that was actually a very good comparison, because Neymar left for his brand early, while Tom Brady focused on his brand later in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So he focused on being a player first, and then because he bet on himself and it worked out, the brand just kind of built off of him being such a great player. And I think that's how
Absolutely.
you should actually build your brand. To have the proper foundation of it by being such a great player. Mm. But yeah, I think Neymar just left Barcelona too early. He could have built a better foundation for himself, had more achievements, and then potentially left for even more money. Or he could have just done deals. He didn't even have to leave for the salary. He
Yeah,
could have just
seriously.
done so many deals, which he has done, obviously. I mean, it's not like he was poor. The guy made so much money throughout
Yeah.
his career. Like
Yeah, I'm
even
sure
when he
he's
went to
doing
Saudi,
okay.
he's doing fine money wise. He's doing great. But yeah, he could have just chosen. I think he could have stayed within the system that was working for him, and done so much more with Messi.
That's
And I'm
fair.
sure there's so many examples in the US of this, like of a similar player like
Oh,
just doing that.
there's so many you think of, like there's John Morant. I don't know if you know him, Ali.
Yeah,
And you watch NBA too, Sai?
I mainly watch the highlights. It's kind of hard for me to
Okay.
watch the games because
Yeah, the game. I mean, yeah, I know. Seriously. Yeah. So John Morant, right? Like he came into the league. Well, two guys actually, John Morant and Zion Williamson, both same time. Pick number one in that draft, pick number two in that
Right.
draft. Came in with brands out of this world. I mean, Zion was the poster boy. He already had I think in high school over 1 million Instagram followers,
Wow.
YouTube. John Morant, same thing. Nike brought him in, gave him his own shoe line right away before he even achieved anything. $100 million, made the big bet on him that he was going to become the next
Yeah,
big shoe line. I mean, Zion is almost ate himself out of a league.
Oof.
And John Morant, I mean, how many times is he going to get arrested for having a gun illegally?
Oof.
And like their brands, you're giving a 19 and 20-year-old this much money before you're taking a big bet on them before they built anything. So I think like a lot of times when the brand gets too big, you have to deliver or it can come crashing down. And you see it a lot in the NBA, especially because that league is a tough league to stay in with how much talent comes in and out of that league.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, no, go ahead, Ari.
in terms of like
Hmm.
betting on players and trying to predict the future, I feel like sports, that's all sports is turning into, like one big Kalshi, one big poly market,
It's true.
where people are trying to and now people are putting money into it too. And when you're watching games with friends, it's changed, because now I see my friends get visibly upset whenever, a
I
baseball
know.
team loses or Japan loses in the World Cup or something like that. And they're like, I put my life savings into this. And,
No, it's true, and you know what's crazy is like, so I go to a lot of NBA games. Like I said, I'm pretty close to the stadiums here in Phoenix, so I just walk over to the NBA games. So get there, right, and you sit down, and I love people watching. This is what I love to do. I love watching people. I bet on sports, but like I put like $10 on the game, have something fun. But you sit in there, and like the people around you are just like. So Grayson Allen, let's use him as an example on the Suns. Grayson Allen hits a three, and you'll see the guy next to you, like, look at his girlfriend. I need 2 more threes from him. I need 2 more threes from him. And then you see this guy, get a rebound, and you see the guy behind you. All right, man, 4 more rebounds. So you're like, Jesus Christ, just watch the basketball game. And they want to make sure that everyone around them hears them to know that, like, if the bet hits, like, oh, I'm so smart. Like,
wow.
oh, Grayson, oh, he hit it 3 threes, Grayson. And like everyone's like, okay, they're down 22 points, bro. We're good.
So what can you tell us about the Malik Beasley scandal then? Like, what's going on there? Because like I only
Oh
know
man.
rumors.
Well, I mean, I think he's guilty. I mean, from the videos, he looks pretty guilty, and I mean, from the text messages, I love my favorite is they didn't want the text messages to be tracked. So one of the mafia members texts him, "Do you have Snapchat?" He's like, "Yeah, why?" And the guy goes, so they can't see what we communicate. Like, well, they saw that part. So,
It's very obvious.
yeah, it was pretty obvious, but it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you're talking about they're saying they paid him like $250,000 to fix a couple things for them. And this guy's making $25-30 million a year. Like, I don't know, do they kind of get them? My theory is they get them some other way. I mean, it's like the movies, right? He might have went and played a card game with them, and then now there's a gun involved, and now you better do this or we're gonna kill this. Like, because it doesn't make the amount of money you make for the risk doesn't add up to me.
It's not a logical decision, yeah. Like there's no way you're making 25 million and unless somehow you're broke after making 30 million a
Well,
year. Like
a
that
lot of them are.
how do you burn through 30 million like that?
I
Like
know.
what exactly how are you this financially irresponsible to just not know how to spend 30 million?
I
Like
know.
I
And
understand,
we're not
okay,
saying,
maybe you're young, it's like
and you just
easily
said 30
influenced
million a
and stuff.
year.
Exactly, yes, as well. 30 million a year. Like, CEOs are not making that money.
I
Like,
know. $3
What
million
what is
house.
it?
Okay. Yeah, I know. Like, think. I try to do the math on it. All right, here's 3 million on a house. All right, I love this house. Best house ever. I'm gonna get a Ferrari.
Okay.
All right, now that's like now I'm at like 3.2 million. I'll get another Ferrari. I'm at like 3.4 million. Where'd the other 27 million go? Like there's something that like where does it go? Like, do people are they giving
Like
them to
even if you take
friend?
30% off of taxes, that's like okay, 10%, that's the 3 million. That's 9 million off. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're stuck with 21 million. Fine. You spent 5 million around for the cars and the house.
yeah.
You're still with 15 million. How do you burn through that?
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. Jewelry, but then you can sell the
Mm.
jewelry, I guess, if you like.
Yeah, that's assets.
You know,
It's not You're not losing that.
and the
Is
house
it
too.
just a
If you buy
cargo?
it, yeah, if you buy the house, it's also an asset.
Exactly. I mean, the car is technically an asset. It's a depreciating asset, but it's still
Yeah,
an asset. Like you still
yeah, it's
have
still, I mean,
some
yeah,
value.
and Ferraris, I don't think depreciate that much if they're buying Ferraris and Lamborghinis. They
100%. Yeah.
depreciate, but they're like, there's still like you get 200,000. Yeah, like if something doesn't make sense. I know the lifestyle, and you spend a lot of money. But to take a risk for $200,000 or $300,000 when you're making
Mm.
25 or $30 million is kind of scary. So I think there's a lot of mafia involvement. I think sometimes threatening people. These guys like to gamble. They all gamble.
Right.
Maybe they get themselves in some very very interesting situations that hopefully none of us will ever get ourselves into.
No,
Mhm.
hopefully not. But I mean, do you think like maybe they bring it upon themselves? Like, do they deserve this for being this irresponsible and with their decisions? I mean, there's people who
No,
don't have like they can't pay rent that which is worth like maybe $500. These people are just like spending millions within a couple of weeks.
yeah, but I feel bad for them in a way. They come in. Let's use like a lot of the basketball as an example. 19 years old, came from maybe the worst neighborhoods in the whole entire country, hasn't seen a dollar in his whole entire life. You just give this guy a check now for $10 million in a year. There's no financial literacy programs. There's no one telling them how to do it. A lot of them, unfortunately, don't have a father figure in their life. They're coming,
Right.
they have their mom, their grandma, their cousins all asking them for some money here and there. I just made 10 million. It's my duty now to help out my friends and family who were there for me while I was trying to come up and make it into the NBA. They've put them in a position where it's really hard to succeed unless you have a really good background. I mean, we've all done stuff at 18, 19 years old. I'm sure that we would be like, man, if I'm 33, 34, I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
True.
imagine someone handed you at 18 years old or 19 years old $30 million, and you're also never had education before.
That's crazy. I don't
I
know what
know.
I'd do. That's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I'd have some fun for sure, but I don't think I'd spend 30 million of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's hard to say for sure, like, because we're not. It's hard to put ourselves in their shoes. It's like it's not something that's very fathomable to just
Right.
like things like, oh shit, man, I have $30 million right now. What am I gonna do? It's hard to. I can't say for sure that I wouldn't probably blow a lot of it, but yeah, it's tough. Ali, what do you think? What would you do if you
If
had
I had
30
all
million?
that money,
Yeah,
um, well, yeah. If I was a kid, I don't know. It's so much money you can't even imagine what to spend it on, right?
buy a lot
Even
of
if you're doing
candy.
all the
A
vacations,
lot of candy.
a lot of
I love
candy,
that.
give it to
That was
everyone.
good.
Like, obviously, like you'd want to help people and stuff like that too. I get that, but yeah, I think these guys are mostly gambling. That's how I see it. Like maybe
That's how
they
I
are
see it too.
putting money in it and then they lose big and then they're trying to make up and they keep digging themselves in a hole and they get themselves in big trouble. And that's where they end up. I know gambling's really like changed the way I perceive sports in general. Because whenever you see something fishy going on, in the back of my head, I ask myself, is this like a fix? Is this a
Hmm.
script? And I
Right.
guess some things we'll never know.
No, we'll never know. We'll never find out. There's going to be always bad actors. I get a lot of my friends ask me, "Oh, is sports fixed, or is this game fixed, or is this player betting on himself or betting against himself?" Um, and I always say the same thing. I think in general, 95% of sports, or 99% even, is not fixed.
Mhm.
But there is going to always be, in any industry, anywhere in this world, a bad actor, and we can't control that. It doesn't matter if it's now with legalized gambling here in the United States or without legalized gambling in the United States. Actually, I think with legalized, there's at least someone checks and balances, and people's eyes are on it a little bit more versus back in the day where some guy would get a call from some dude in Vegas and be on his cell phone and the pay phone putting the quarters in. Hey, we're doing now, at least, like, I think now the FBI at least has their eyes on it a little more. I actually think a lot of times anything legalizing anything puts checks and balances on it, and the less black market of anything, the better.
Is it legal in Saudi, by the way? The like, if you wanted to use
I was gonna
Kalshi or
ask, but I would guess
no?
there's no way.
Right, never mind.
No, it's haram. And
I
anything that's
understand.
haram is not going to be is
But like
definitely
you
not
can
going to be
look, but
accepted.
you can look up the poly market odds, right? Like you can see what the odds are on poly market in Saudi, or does that get like in general?
For me, I to be honest, I follow their Instagram, so that's how I see what's the poly market.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah,
but I think, I mean, even if you, I haven't tried opening poly market on my phone, but even if you can't, you can just get a VPN and
yeah. No,
you
I
just
know. I
use
just
that.
was wondering, like, is it how how
No, I
restricted
didn't.
it
I'm
was?
just giving that info now. I just noticed like if anyone watches this and they're like, why is he giving out this free info now? Like, mm,
It's a
fuck it. Everyone
VPN,
already
bro.
knows that to use the VPN.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone knows
everyone
what a
knows.
VPN.
No, yeah, no, I figured it, and you know what? I think it's probably good. It's illegal, but at the end of the day, people are going to find a way to at least access and look
Mhm.
at it, I guess, if they really wanted to see and look at it.
But don't you think if it's legalized, then it's just more accessible and it's more available as well? Like that's
That's
like
mhm.
just allowing it to exist goes back to like that proximity thing, it's like because when you legalize it, obviously there's more companies that are involved and like regulated larger companies can just make it such a big
And
industry
you're watching
that
FIFA and
it
it's a
grows.
sponsor for FIFA, and you have LeBron
That's so
James
true.
Yeah,
talking about how he's using Calci and he's the friend, and you have Timothy Chalamet out here,
exactly.
being on Poly Market, and it's like, what's happening?
I
So
don't
yeah.
think athletes should be allowed to advertise for it personally. And they're one of our biggest advertisers, sports betting. And they're our biggest advertiser. Kalshi is our biggest advertiser for me and my brother's business. Like, so if you're listening, you guys can advertise whatever you want. But the thing is, well, like Giannis, right? You guys know Giannis?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So so when before he was traded, there was so many bets on Kalshi, right? About what team is he going to be traded to, or is he going to be traded? And while that's out there, he's a sponsor for Kalshi. Like, to me,
Okay.
yeah, he's sponsored by Kalshi and he's doing commercials for him. I don't think that shouldn't be allowed,
God damn, bro. Yeah, I mean they're
right?
just getting all of the insider trading and then putting up these odds. It's that's just so bad. I mean,
Yeah, I know. I know. There's nothing else to say. It's just bad. It's horrible.
it reminded me of like when they were doing the last UFC in the White House,
Mhm,
and then Daniel Cormier actually outed. I don't know if it was what's his name, Trump's son or Trump's
mhm,
son-in-law, but he outed him for insider trading because basically the guy was DMing him on Instagram, asking him uh, like he was just saying hello. He started off as being hello and friendly, and Daniel Cormier is responding in a very polite, friendly manner. It's like, "Oh,
yeah,
hi, it's very nice to talk." Blah blah blah. And then the guy's like, I think it was Jared Kushner. I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah,
probably Jared Kushner. And he literally asks him like, "So, is there any kind of insider information you can provide me?" He just goes straight to the point and tells him, "Is
yeah,
there any information you can give me?" And Daniel, like, it's probably still on his Instagram. Like, if you check through his Instagram, you'll
yeah.
find it on one of his posts. And I'm like looking at this. So this is how they're getting richer. Like this is how
Mhm.
the Trump family is just making so much money. They're using it's like that Nepo family where that when the father's just like it's like the big businessman and then he
Yep.
brings all his family into the company and they're all making money. Yeah, that's what it feels like he's doing as president, bro, which is even
Yeah, as president of the United States of America, like honestly, I always say like if he did this, like if he was just like kind of like still Trump, the guy on The Apprentice and doing all this, I'd be like, ah, he's so funny. Like, but like you're the president of the United States. Like, do we really need to do the UFC at the White House and have you guys find insider trading information on a sporting event in the White House? That's insane to me. I didn't even know because UFC is probably the only sport I don't even follow 1%. I know nothing about UFC. But so but that's an insane story. That's insane.
I
And
know
these are the
like
same
and the
guys that
fact
want to
that the
buy FIFA. To go back in full circle, these are the guys who want to buy FIFA.
Here we go.
I,
Ali, there's your
exactly.
answer. Why is it bad?
Here we go. Full circle. Yeah. No. Here. Good point. Great point.
Oh my God, man! Trump is betting on UFC, or not him. His son-in-law is betting on UFC. Oh,
And DMing for insider.
in the White House too.
What I don't understand, where's all this money in sports coming from? How are sports just constantly just growing and growing and growing, like all the sports? And it sounds to me like there's some kind of like bubble in it, or it
Ah,
sounds a bit
I
bit
keep
too
saying
big to be
that.
true.
Like the Seattle Seahawks just sold for $10 billion. That's my favorite NFL team.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay. A couple years ago, the Broncos sold for $5 billion. Now we're selling teams for $10 billion. When is that ceiling gonna pop? Because I'm gonna tell you there's gonna be a point where you can't buy a team for 20 billion and sell it in 10 years for 100 billion. I mean, there's gonna be a
Yeah.
point where this stops because $10 billion, and they keep saying, and I think this is where the bubble is gonna come eventually, is most of the money is made on what? TV commercials, TV rights
Mm.
deal, TV rights deal, TV rights deal.
Right.
People's at some point, advertising has become less effective.
Yeah, people are getting numb. 100%.
Yeah, from
It's
commercials,
so
it
hard
just
to just
don't
like keep
work.
up with all this stuff. Right.
Yeah,
And
so at some point when
and
the commercials don't work, you make less money. It can't be worth this forever.
not only that, I think there we were talking about numbers previously about
Mhm.
in the US and like how they want to be the best and all that. And I think another thing is like you guys in the US really want everything to be the best price or like the highest price or whatever.
Mhm.
And I think there's an issue there with numbers. I don't know if Americans have like a misunderstanding of how price valuation works, but everything just is like super inflated.
I
Like comparatively to any other country, like that's also a first world country,
Mhm.
everything the price wise, it does not make sense. Like like the example of the buying a team for 5 billion and then 10 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, if you bring 5 billion to Saudi Arabia, you're building a freaking mega project. You're not buying
Yes.
a football team. You're building a whole ass city. Like what?
Well,
I s-
because you guys at least get stuff done there. If we brought you 10 billion to build something here, it'll take 12 years, and it will be halfway finished, and then there'll be a union, and then someone gets sued, and then the project ends. I grew up in Seattle. They, as I told you guys, there's a monorail system that finally launched. It took 22 years to finish
Wow.
the tram to go around Seattle. Dubai built it in like 6 days. Saudi Arabia tomorrow morning, you give them $10 billion, it'll be bigger than Phoenix.
100%. It's just yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone over there does what's it called? There's a term for it. I think it's called uh woman counting or something like that. I'm not sure
I
what's
haven't
the
heard
term
of
that
that
you
one.
guys use. Girlfriend money or something like that, where like when your girlfriend just like says like, oh, he's making
Oh, oh,
he has like
oh,
a
oh. Girls
you know the
math.
term, you know Girls math, yes,
There we
exactly.
go.
I think in the US that's what you guys use. You guys use girls math, and that's how you value everything. It's like, oh, this I bought it for 1 million, so that means it should be worth more because I own it, so it should be worth 3 million or something like that.
And then they somehow someone come and will buy it.
Yeah, and someone would buy it. I don't know why. No questions asked. You خلاص. If someone appraises it at 3 million, it's 3 million, and then the next day they appraise it again, it's 4.5. Why not? Let's just
Why
keep
not?
increasing. And then
It
the whole world has
it
to
makes no
keep
sense.
up, catch up to the US. I mean, come
It's
on, man.
so true. It's so true, bro. And I mean, Ali probably will see it both with the house prices of houses.
Oof.
Just
Impossible.
every time, like my parents, they bought their house for I think a couple years ago for 900,000. Now it's valued at 1.4. But the neighbor sold it last week. Their neighbors sold for 1.6. So now the next house is going to be 1.7. So now my parents' house is definitely worth 1.8, but they're not going to sell it. So maybe by that time it'll be worth 1.9. And like,
What the fuck?
and it's a bidding war.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is an auction in the US. I feel like it's just, you know, like all hands on deck. Everyone just throw money. Let's see what happens. Just
No, no.
fuck it. Just go.
But that's why when we like in Arab, we go buy a car, the dealers are like, what's wrong with you guys? They go 30,000, like I'll offer you like 25. Like, what are you talking about? Said 30. Like think there's you think we're gonna negotiate here? No. It doesn't work.
I wanted to go back to the LeBron's decision, going back to the
Yeah.
NBA. That one, that one was an interesting one.
That was
Like,
cool.
Because he went
I remember
lower,
seeing your take on
right?
it, saying
Yep.
that
Yeah.
that he's going there for the ring.
Mm.
Now, from I was discussing this with Ali before the
Yeah.
podcast, and I was like thinking out loud, like, is he really just going for the ring? I know he said his happiness,
Mm.
but the thing is, if he really was going for the ring, he could have gone to any team. If he's going for like a what's it called, veteran
Just a
minimum,
championship,
he
yeah.
could have yeah he could have joined any other team. He could have gone to Golden State, gone for the veteran minimum, and gotten another player with him.
Mm-hmm.
He could have stayed in the Lakers, done the veteran minimum, and gotten another star with Luka Doncic. I mean, like literally anyone that he has more experience with, because the people on the Sixers, he's never played with them. There's
That's true.
no there's no rapport, there's no chemistry, and like most of them are new players as well. Not most of them, sorry, but like him from the starting five, it's him and Jalen Brown that are coming in new to the team, and they
Yep.
might change the way the team looks like. So, what's your perspective? Like now that I'm saying that
Mhm.
it might not be a ring,
Yeah.
it was like, is it still
Well,
just the ring?
I think. All right. Well, first of all, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm a Jordan guy. I think he's better than LeBron. That's just my
Dang.
thing.
Wow.
I'm a Michael Jordan guy, but I
I
respect.
see
the
where you're coming
heck.
from. Then I see where you're coming
Yeah,
from.
I respect the heck out of LeBron James in this decision, especially.
Right.
Here's the thing. I think I'm just trying to, deep dive into his mind without being able to speak to him. But hopefully, maybe us three, we can, DM him at the same time. Let's get him on here. Maybe.
What are you thinking?
What are you thinking here? But here's my thought process. He's like, okay, the only way he knows he's still chasing Jordan. Let's be honest. He knows that. He's like, only way that people will think I'm better than him is by winning more. So let's just say he went to Golden State. What are people going to say? Well, you joined Curry's team to win? That's horrible. If he stayed in LA, he's already won a championship there. If he goes back to Cleveland, he knows he's not going to win. If he goes to Miami, they're going to be like, you joined Giannis. Like, it's his team now. I think he would have joined the Knicks if they didn't win the championship this year. I actually think he would have went and signed with the New York Knicks, hands down, to bring a ring to New York City, but they just won the championship. But when you go to Philly and you say, all right, we got Tyrese Maxey, who's an all-star, Jalen Brown, who's a superstar, Joel Embiid, if healthy, is a superstar. man, this team is loaded. This team is, and then you got VJ Edgecombe, who was I would say the third best rookie in the NBA last year. So his thought process is the only place I could go and win a ring where it doesn't look like I'm just like, and Philly hasn't won a ring since 1982, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He only place he can go and be like, I brought them a ring at the end of my career, and now tell me I'm not better than Jordan. I'll still say no. But if he wins two of them, maybe he can. But I don't think he could have made a bad decision there. I mean, Golden State would have been fun. That's where I wanted him to go.
Yeah. Where else do you think would he have gone? Like other than Sixers and Golden State? I don't think the Heat was potentially an option.
I don't think
like,
so.
What other options were there?
I think Knicks would have been the number one option for him if they didn't win the NBA championship.
Is there like, do you think he would have gone to potentially the Spurs, or like just to give them that edge?
I wish he would, because that would have been fun to watch him with Wemby. But for some reason, it just didn't seem like he was interested in San Antonio one bit, and I don't know why. I've been to San Antonio. It's a fine city. It just didn't seem like it.
Sure.
Maybe, yeah, and he's going to be living in New York City too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why does he want to live in New York? Because like it seems like, because I remember seeing somewhere that he chose LA because his wife wanted LA,
Yeah.
something like that, and now he's gonna be living in New York and he wants to live in New York. Is there something about New York about him? But he's from Ohio, so like what?
Yeah, he's from Ohio. I think it's just, it's the biggest city economically in this country. There's a lot of business opportunities. There's something about living in New York. I think every man who's lived in the United States has always said, man, I can see myself in New York City one day. Manhattan. It's the closest feeling to living in Europe in the United States as living in Europe. You can walk. I'm not saying LeBron's going to be walking to restaurants by himself.
Taking the subway.
Yeah, LeBron's going to be taking the subway to the bagel shop every morning. But it's New York City. It's cool. I think there's a lot of business opportunities there, and he has his hands in so many businesses. It's just, it'll logically be a great place for him to live and grow his brand even more.
Business is the answer. Money. All comes down to money. George, I have a couple last rapid fire questions for you.
All right.
Will Saudi Arabia be the next sports capital of the world?
Oof. No.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Oh! I know. I'm sorry. You guys are. You think you're growing, but capital? That's tough. Your major player, yes, though.
They're trying here.
Major player. That was the yes or no question, so I had to go no.
Do you think esports is going to be bigger than actual sports one day?
No. Just because I don't like it.
That's it.
Do you guys esports? I'm glad you guys agree with me on that one, though. I can't watch it. I can't watch esports.
Yeah, I mean, I like video games, but I don't think I don't know. It's hard. I need more time to get into it.
Yeah, like I don't know. You play a video game. I can't imagine like that's digital. Now you're like 2 steps away from real life. Now I'm watching someone playing something that's not real. I don't know. It's hard for me.
It's kind of like an inception of sports. It's like watching, like faking the faker. Or something like that.
But like very quick tangent here. Their shelf life is very small because I heard their like hands and like fingers like get really bad problems. The esports guys, and they're done by like 25, 26.
Damn, they have to retire early. That's crazy.
Yeah, very early. That
means they start earlier though, right?
Say again?
I mean, don't they start earlier going pro?
I think so.
Because your reflexes are better when you're like 18, 19, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're like an avid video gamer.
I'm sure, I'm sure they start younger, but yeah, I heard that they get the carpal tunnel really, really early in life.
Ouch.
Yeah.
The recovery on that.
Put your hand in an ice bath. There you go.
Trump will own it by some time too.
Will Sports on tap, overtake ESPN.
No, that's never our goal. I mean, our hope is we just grow into a nice name in sports media, maybe like around Barstool level, maybe a little smaller than Barstool, but around that level, somewhere we don't want to have coverage where we're insiders. We want to be a voice for fans to talk like fans and enjoy sports.
Hmm.
Amazing.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Saido?
great. George, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
Of course. No, thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure. And hopefully, if you come to the United States side, we can meet up. Ali, next time I'm in LA, I will definitely let you know.
Yes, let me know when you're visiting. Sick.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
And of course, you know, Saudi's gonna be the next sports capital in the world, so you should be visiting as well. That's the
I would love to visit.
Ah,
Maybe next time I go to Syria, I'll swing by Saudi.
ahla wa sahla. Guys, thank you for watching another episode of A2 The Show. This was us, and we'll see you guys next time.
We're out.
Peace.
Thank you.